Shield crash. I mean, they nerfed it so the damage reduction doesn't last nearly. I think they literally have the time or something like that back whenever they nerfed that. So the damage reduction coming from that is great, but it only lasts for like a short. It's only 5 seconds now. I think it used to be almost 10 seconds. Am I wrong? It's like 8 seconds or something.
I think it was 5 plus 2 per level.
5 plus, so it would gain 2 seconds on each level.
Yeah, I think it was up to 11 at max level or something like that.
It was a crazy, yeah. I mean, now it's a higher damage reduction, but not that much. Like, it was not, overall, it was a severe nerf.
Yeah.
Remember that, of course, as a Pango aficionado myself.
The thing to keep in mind about this lane for Pango is...
Well, this will work.
It's very hard to CS with Swashbuckle and then CS for the rest of the wave, because Swashbuckle is your safety net against Shadow Fiend. If you use that to last hit a creep and then you walk into swing at another creep, as it can triple raise you, you can't get away. So that's why this lane is so hard, is that your primary range creep killing tool is actually kind of dangerous to use if you want to make sure to get the rest of the wave. And in order to set up the wave to get multiple CS with Swashbuckle, you have to go and hit creeps. And then we're back to square one, where you're in raise range. So I'm expecting XWY to destroy this lane, just flat out, win it handily against the Pango, and that's a position that Braille hasn't really been in the games that I've seen of TSM so far this tournament. I don't think Braille has been truly run over in the lane, but this one could be it. This is
well, how's their
hard one.
their ganking potential? I mean, you have a Jakiro and Hoodwink.
Yeah.
On the other side,
pretty much
you have,
answers the question, doesn't it?
Exactly, and then the Glimpse will be extremely good against a Pango before he gets level 6.
Already look how XWI is playing here.
Yeah. This is definitely the lane to watch. I would expect First Blood potentially to be here. But we'll see. Maybe Braille can do some crazy shenanigans to get back. And, I mean, this was kind of salvageable when the small camp used to exist, but...
Yeah.
Pango feels like you just can't even be in this lane at a certain point. He'll be able to secure a lot of these range creeps, but once XWI hits level 3, I think we might see a kill if Braille's not careful. And if he is careful, then he's not going to get any CS. He'll die, but he won't get any
Damn it
CS.
if you do, damn it if you don't kind of lane. He did okay on these first couple waves, to be honest. 4-1 against 6-1 is... not a bad start, but as you pointed out, level 3 is the place to be for the Shadow Fiend here. And the top lane, Baboka has just pulled the wave away from the AM Jakiro. Timbersaw doesn't want to play this lane to start, because he doesn't offer enough on level 1, and they're just going to chase him down and burn all his mana with Dual Breath and the Orb of Venom Anti-Mage, so I like that a lot from Baboka, that he just pulls it straight away. And bot, this lane should be very, very good for Monet, as well as Pichu, because I don't think Brood Hoodwink can really fight the Monkey King here very well, especially not with a Disruptor backing up with these high damage spells, so... Aster honestly might be
I was wrong. First Blood top.
Yeah, it's a trade-off, but Tomato gets the big one.
Not getting what you came for.
Definitely a little surprising, especially considering Ricky has one of the highest base regen in the game. Yeah, Braille still existing is definitely a good news for TSM.
There is the potential for TSM to lose all 3 lanes, though, which is very concerning here. Tomato getting that first blood is big, since that definitely will stabilize the top lane. I think it's the one that, on paper, they have the best chance in, and are actually favored, but not by like such a large margin that it can't go wrong in the blink of an eye with... If you misstep a little bit against Timber Ricky, they have chase potential and they have a lot of damage. But for now, that lane is definitely going well. The other two, however, not so high. But that's also what we expected, so...
Yep, Monet sitting on 14-5, Kasane on the offlane, Brood 7-1, but I mean, the Brood Hoodwink, I feel like that doesn't really offer that much in general, regardless of what the matchup is. I'm not really seeing the direct synergy here, but they obviously picked the Hoodwink for other reasons, past the laning stage. XWY, it's all going to be about rune control here, as he is continuing to force Braille almost out of XP range there for a moment. He's going to get the shield crash off. Has to be careful now. That's a third raise, actually. Attempting to get away. He has the long range raise. One more right click will do it.
So slow.
And he's done. So happened a little bit later than we were expecting, perhaps, but XWY does get the kill and is now dominating this lane.
And now it's gonna get even worse, because now Shadowfiend's level 5. So now the raises go up by about 50% damage.
Death's bounty.
And he might even... Yeah, so he's also getting a water, so he is actually back to basically full resources here with Bryle coming back in. I missed the first raise, though.
And yeah, that Bryle is resigned to using his swashbuckle just to get the range creeps. That's kind of what's
Lane looks like a
the
trade.
here.
Kasane
Yep,
does
Kasane
kill
gets
off
the kill.
Pichu first.
He does. Monet, he's going to be happy with the solo XP. Kasane able to wait out the Jingu stacks.
Don't think so.
We're seeing
Another
another
bottle
water,
refill mid.
Yeah, another
Man,
bottle
they are
refill.
just babysitting XWY so hard.
I feel like Bryle's the one that needs this attention. Is Baboko
Yeah.
getting chased by Whitemon in the jungle, but tricks of the trade to the low ground. Oh, takes another liquid fire. It's way out.
And now Bryle has resigned to buying raindrops to be able to sustain, but that's just more economical damage.
Yep, that's fair. And
And
what
he's
kind
gonna just keep being bullied every time. So these raindrops, they're gonna keep him safe for a bit, but the question is, are they actually gonna even be worth the gold they cost? 225 gold, is he gonna get CS because of these, or are they just gonna get burnt? In which case, all he got for them was experience of being able to stand a little bit longer in the lane. He's already lost half of them.
Not great. 6-minute rune is going to be coming up here. Of course, XWY is the one with control of the lane. He can push this a lot faster than the Pango can at this stage, considering the level advantage that he has right now. And he's also getting some assistance via Baboka, who's chasing off Ari now into TSM's
Ari is
triangle.
not safe here at all.
Gets off the bushwhack. Ends up getting glimpsed, and now Baboka blocking. You can see Whitemon on the other side of the cliff here.
Oh,
Ari is dunzo.
What?
You okay there?
I can't believe that happened. The centaur chased him all the way out of the camp and just hit him in the head once in the tree line.
Oh, I actually missed that.
Yeah, he got killed by a neutral there.
That's
Very
good
unfortunate
news.
for Aster. I don't know if Ari was trying to set that up. That looked a little bit like pure chance, but you know, you'll take it either way. If you're TSM.
You can take anything you can get right now with this SF becoming monstrous here. Now
There's
the
a
pressure's
haste
on
rune
the
as
tier
well, so
1
now
tower.
Bryle is not even... Bryle is only safe in his ulti now. Even swashbuckling isn't going to get him far enough away. So mid from Hoodwink, they'll bottle refill for Bryle.
Oh yeah, that's what he needs. Good stuff.
Worth pointing out that obviously
Bottom
with
lane.
all this rotation, Kasane now is in huge trouble bottom.
Yeah, they're gonna glimpse him back into the Wukong's command. Do they have the control though? Getting some good regen out of the spider webs, but he's not hiding in the trees anymore. Tricks of the trade not doing barely any damage here. And Kasane actually lives.
Yeah, Aster misplayed that a little bit with their spells. They used the Boundless Strike first as they were glimpsing, so they missed some stun time. I think if
Top
if
lane.
Monet hadn't second-guessed himself, he would have got that kill with the Wukong's command by casting that first.
They're not doing any damage to XXS now that his mana is burned. I actually don't even think they can kill him.
Yeah, he has
He's
Vanguard.
regenerating faster. Oh my goodness. That is absurd.
Yeah, well, he's gonna just be able to stand here and farm with this Vanguard build.
Oh yeah.
So. And they lose the safe lane, or the off-lane tower minute 7 due to TSM. That is really rough. This catapult wave plus the rotation of the supports was enough. Brood can't really fend for herself at all against this kind of push. Hopefully for TSM they
Rune
get a
will
rune
spawn
here.
top.
Unfortunately, it's an ill rune.
Yeah, the most useless of all is Ari. Takes a couple raises, but able to walk it away thanks to the bushwhack. Bryle has been supplied some stacks in the jungle, much needed, of course. Still working on his arcane boots. And we can see in terms of farm, he is about 1,500 net worth behind XWY, who is going for the Dragonlance first. And what's the build on SF these days? I mean, this is
Depends
a
on the
mid
game.
SF, so
I think There's two general builds. One is the Dragonlance right-click build, and the other one is more of a spell casting focused build. And it looks like this game is going to be just the Dragonlance build-up that he's going for. I think it's the right approach. You're playing against Anti-Mage carry. I think it's really good if you have 2 physical damage cores. So playing both him and Monet with that would be wise, I think. And I'm assuming one of them will go Deso. Probably Monet will, after a Battle Fury, at least at some point get it. Kasane is in
Another
trouble.
attempt at Kasane. Yeah, he was stuck inside the kinetic field this time, and then they glimpsed, so that'll be enough.
This time they set it up well, and they had kinetic field for the first time, as you said. Didn't have it until then. And look at it. Excuse me. Look at XXS. He's just... He doesn't care. Like, he's literally just standing here tanking the AM and the tower. He's gonna get mana voided for a pitiful 200 damage. And with this Soul Ring, Temato is actually in trouble in this lane, because XXS can just Soul Ring, use his spells instantly.
Yeah.
And... yeah, he's 1,000 net worth behind the AM, but now he's winning the lane. Like, AM can't contest him. He's pinging. He's like, can you guys help? I'm losing my tower to a 0 mana hero. This is pretty funny to
watch. The ultimate counter to AM is not having mana.
Can't do anything.
10-minute rune is coming up. It's top again. Bryle able to get it this time, and it's a haste, so that's going to be a lot more effective. Does take some heavy damage for his efforts, though. Yeah, XXS continuing to pressure this tower. Uses a soul ring.
He also has
his
Arcane
mana.
Ring, so he actually has 2 ways of gaining mana. He's just gonna force him away.
And this tower's gonna go bye-bye here pretty soon.
This is the
Tomato still
makings of
working
a
on the
Stomp
battlefield.
Shannon. They're actually just getting absolutely destroyed all over the map right now, TSM. And the worrying thing about it is that their real playmaking hero is probably the Pango, but his game is not good, to say the least. So I feel like you're kind of forced to start making some moves as a team now, and you need to find some successes, but all they're going to find here will be Pichu's level 5 Disruptor. It's not great for a haste rune rotation with your Pango, and in the meantime, your mid tower is getting pushed away at heavily by SF plus a Catapult.
Nope,
Now-
they're going to TP a couple members of TSM.
Yep.
And they might try a backstab maneuver here with Bryle coming in from behind with the Rolling Thunder. If they can get
This move has
XWY,
to
this would
work.
be very big. The Boka's here, smoke screen on the
screen.
ports nearby. XWY looks to be just A-okay. Now Monet's made his transition over as well as Whitemon taking damage from XXS as the entirety of Aster basically are here. They get the tower, they get the Jakiro, and they lose they barely lost any HP during this engagement.
Yeah. I mean, that was just a clutch smoke screen from Baboka. That was basically perfect. He smoked off the Hoodwink after Acorn Shot, but before Bushwhack, so Ari couldn't combo. And the smoke screen also blocked off Jakiro's entrance path to get the ice path off. So none of their combo ended up landing on that Pango roll, and then the fight's just over. Like, they have nothing left in the tank, and they have to give up.
And now that Monet's showing in the top lane, Tomato has to just sit in the trees as he's pretty close to finishing the Battle Fury, but
It's just such
Be
a
careful.
long road ahead of him, right? Like, who's gonna make space for him aside from the Brood?
yeah, I mean, once he gets that, he still needs a couple items before he can really be useful in these fights. He has to be careful. Monet might be trying to set something up here. Although he is all alone, his mid lane is where most of the heroes are at the moment. Bryle getting glimpsed back into a smoke screen. And the silence coming out from Siamese Cat means the end of Bryle. It's only a 6-3 game, but the lead in terms of net worth heavily in favor of Aster already.
They're ahead on every position. Mid is ahead by, what's that, almost 3k? Carry is ahead by 200, offlane's ahead by 5 or 700, and the supports are ahead by 500 each. So, yeah, I think that's fair enough to say they've won all 3 lanes, despite AM having higher net worth than Timber. Just overall, the way the lanes have gone for Aster is very, very solid. And the scary part is yet to come, because what does the Dire lineup do when BKB comes out on the Shadow Field? They actually can't stop him at all. So he has 9 seconds of being a complete god in the fight. Aster will probably be looking for a potential Roche then as well. Timber can just tank it while SF gets it done with raises and attacks. They have Monkey King who can help out as well. With an Aegis, they might just be able to take every outer tower.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind an early Basher Ags for Bryle. I know that's still a long ways away, but I don't know if the refusal is really going to do that much when you're getting it this late.
I still think it's a must-have, right? It is cheap, valuable damage, and it is teamfight disruption that can very well be helpful. Like, if he hits the Swashbuckle on the Ricky, for example, most of his mana is gone. Burning mana from Shadow Fiend is also valuable. But yeah, I like that TSM are trying to look for moves quite a lot, but they're just getting outplayed. Like, the moves are not successful. They're maybe too telegraphed here. But if they just keep the status quo, it's not a winning strategy. They have to look for something.
Yeah, well, they're going to be the recipient of a potential smoke gank here from Aster, as they might run into Tomato. I'm not sure. Do they have enough lockdown? I mean, with Ricky here, there's the glimpse into the Static Storm, and Tomato is just dead. Easy, easy kill. Now, he did have his Battle Fury, so not a whole lot of gold lost at the very least. That's a silver lining for TSM.
TSM went for their own smoke 30 seconds ago, and now it breaks.
Oh,
and now they might just be... Oh, no, Bryle.
Monet. Glimpse. And dead.
Alright, this is...
What you see is what gets you.
Yeah, that is 0 and 3 Pango.
There's not much good news in the TSM camp here, you gotta say.
Yeah. I thought that maybe they would try to... I know they didn't have the greatest lineup for it, but the matchup mid was so bad. Like, you could see it, the writing on the wall. We talked about it before the game even started. I thought that they would maybe try to switch up the lanes, do something weird, or perhaps, you know, bring in the Jakiro.
When they picked the Pango, there was no hero that could win mid. Or even do well. Anti-Mage gets stomped. I would say Brood mid should also have a really hard time, and then you're playing Brood mid. So they just didn't have any options except pick another hero than Pango. That's why I thought that pick was peculiar, because you had the information there. Like, maybe they were just banking on the fact that XWY wouldn't play the Shadow Fiend and it would go on Monet, but you picked a seriously losing matchup, and Bryle knows this is a losing matchup. So I feel like there must have been something else in his repertoire here that would have worked. But Aster taking advantage of perhaps some hero pool issues here for TSM?
Yeah, potentially. I feel like I'd have to look at the sheet again, but I feel like Bryle picked more than... I think there were some heroes that he's picked in the past that were still available at that point, but I could be wrong.
I feel so too. I feel like Bryle plays quite a lot of different stuff, so... And this has definitely got to be one of the absolute worst ones for him that he could have run in the mid lane against SF.
I think you're right, though. I think they just were not expecting it to actually go mid. But they are facing the consequences now. The mid tower is going to get denied. And
nice work there from Kasane to at least open up a little bit there. They will more than likely lose their top tier 2 as XWI has shown up with his BKB.
Yep, that is looking pretty nice. Monet has the Battle Fury Orb of Venom, or Orb of Corrosion I should say, and about 1,000 into his BKB, so they'll probably get this tier 2 outpost, and then that's when Roche becomes available with any kind of a pick. And I mean, with this lead, they could potentially just do it without even needing that.
I think they could Roche and take a Lena Rax, actually. I think the game is in that state right now. The Timbersaw is going to finish Kaya Sanj Vanguard minute 17. He's going to be borderline invincible. We've already covered how invincible the Shadow Fiend's going to be doing BKB.
Static Storm onto Bryle. Baboka doing as much damage as he can. He gets glimpsed back again. And dead again. XWY is pretty low, though. Has to pop his BKB, so that's something. I mean, when you're happy with a trade of a BKB for your mid, that is when things are not going well for you.
I don't think they're happy. But it's something.
It's the best way to put it. It's better than nothing.
Yeah, that is...
has been happening. Better than negative.
It's their best outcome in the last 10 minutes.
That is accurate.
Death's bounty.
Now approaching a 10,000 gold lead for Team Aster. XXS says, nope, my jungle.
10k at 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Shalaka ding dong for sure.
Really is.
Whitemon
TSM
still with
gonna
the brown
go for
boots.
another smoke move here, but Monet is already hidden in the trees, and Baboka will break the smoke. He will dart.
And there's the dart. Smoke screen, boundless strike. Goodbye, Hoodwink. Ryle was thinking about rolling thundering in, but goes against it. Still thinking about it. Gonna back away, and Aster just will continue having all this map control, continuing to gain on their lead.
XWY pinging Roche.
While this is happening, Tomato trying to work towards his Manta style. 1500 into the ultimate orb. Yeah, the Roche. Oh, TSM look like they want to potentially contest. I mean, I think they kind of have to here. As XXX going to try to turn this around onto Whitemon. He's just going to get right-clicked down into Oblivion. Actually staying alive. The mech keeps him alive even further. As Brow doing a nice job with the Rolling Thunder. The Jakiro does eventually die. It takes a while, but you can see TSM just outside of that haven't done any damage, really. Nay sitting at half HP. XWY just wants to resume his previous activity, which was Roche. Now, keep in mind, Tomato still farming. At least he's getting something out of this.
Oh, they find Ari as well with a dart.
Yeah, another support death. And I think that's where TSM will concede the Roche. And almost certainly, I would think goes on to the TSF.
He's going to finish his pike in now. I think high ground is definitely in the cards here. You need to push out bottom, and then you could just go straight down mid. I think that seems plausible. If they want, they can obviously wait. I don't feel like they're under any time pressure here, so it's a matter of whether they feel like the game is just theirs to claim now. But I don't think the game will get much harder in the next 10 minutes if they just farm. So we'll look for a pick mid.
Oh,
BKB.
Very early BKB from XWY. Not sure if he misclicked there, but he's going to use it to full effect to kill Kasane.
Oh my god.
He's going to take the bunch of damage from TSM, though. Sharpshooter's coming in. It is going to hit onto the SF, so it's a 1 for 2 so far in favor of Aster, as the double damage is still applied to XWY. Uses his force staff, Hurricane Pike, Tomato, glimpse back, and Boundless struck into the ground. 3 for 1 for Aster, and they remain with their Aegis.
Yep. Lose their 4 to kill a 3, 1, and a 5. I ran the math on it, it was worth it. And this goes, here we go. So they've pushed bottom far enough out that I think they can commit to this mid push if they want. Monet is going to finish his BKB in the meantime bottom as well, so they don't need him here in mid to push this tower as it stands. Looks like, alright, TSM is just going to go for it. The carry is here.
Coming in, SF with no BKB, but again, has that Aegis. Whitemon in the meantime trying to pressure XXS, who's attempting to run away now from the Brood. SF looks to be quite low, so they're going to be able to burn the Aegis, as Tomato has now finally respawned. Still does not have the BKB for another 12 seconds. Can XXS and company keep their SF safe? He's going to get stuck inside the Ice Path. It's hit by the Spider Link, but it looks like enough space has been made for him to get away.
Oh,
nice Manta for Tomato.
Clutch.
Dodging out on the glimpse, so...
If he mistimes that, he's dead.
Stop.
That had to land.
They've got pretty close to killing XWY, just able to finish the job. So, in the end, not the best use of the Aegis, I suppose.
Aster were playing the map a little bit greedily there. They had Monet bottom. If Monet was mid with the SF push there, the go doesn't even happen. But the reason TSM feel confident that they can actually take the fight is that the Monkey King was showing bottom lane. But now that they're together, they'll still go high ground. Presence affects aura, presence aura affects buildings, talents are unlocked. In the meantime, they're also killing the Brood mid.
Yes, they are. Stuck inside the kinetic field. He pops his Greaves, but only going to delay the inevitable. So that's 45 seconds with no buyback on the off lane. Rolling Thunder not going to be fully used.
Looks like TSM definitely didn't expect that, considering Timber and SF were hitting the bot tower. They thought the rest of the team were with them, but it was smoke and mirrors.
Literally, smoke screen and mirrors.
Yep.
Oh, that's one set of racks. And they're going to be able to get the Rolling Thunder in. BKB from both the Monkey King and SF. Ryle, he's just going to get killed inside his ult. Oh dear, glimpse back on a Whitemon now. Another death for TSM as the kill score is 19 to 4.
Don't
Aster,
worry, Anti-Mage is still in the game.
yeah, he is.
He has not
Basher.
finished farming yet.
So ways to go. I mean, is this even the type of game that? Hey, what is the scenario that TSM could possibly come back? I know that the percentage is probably 99 to 1 right now. Although Tomato, oh boy, he might get caught out here. Oh, he's gonna get glimpsed. Static Storm is there, but he's able to get outside the kinetic field. Jumps back in, gets a nice mana void to take out the disruptor. But now
damage.
he's got to be careful. The Greaves are there. He's going to focus all his efforts on the XXS. He's already used his mana void, and my god, the right clicks from XWY, more than enough to bring Tomato to his knees. They're going to get the Hoodwink. They actually use a Wukong's command.
Okay, well, he's dead.
Yep, very dead.
I think, to answer your question about what the comeback is, I think it's a fat mana void. I think that's like the only way you win this game now as Dire, is you need to get Timbersaw's mana burned, and then you need to do a huge AoE bomb with that can kill the other cores, because I don't think you have enough in the tank to really deal with Monkey King and SF as the AM. You're just not there in terms of items. So your ulti is your best tool. That's how you kill. And he did get a good mana void there in the Disruptor that spilled over on the Timber, but I mean, that just doesn't cut it, right? It's not enough. When the cavalry shows up, he has to go back, and he actually ends up dying anyway. Ryle? Oh, XWY might have actually been able to find a kill there if he hadn't...
Should be fine.
I think he didn't mean to hit him there. I think he misclicked. Because if he walks into him and Requims, he could have maybe got him there.
And Ryle's going to have to limp away. They just sit in the trees looking for another pick-off, potentially. Tomato's in the air. He's going to need a backup. Boundless Strike connects. But they're going to try to turn this around on Monet instead. This was a trick from TSM. Monet pops the BKB. He's going to be just fine. Now XWY has come to play. Shakiro goes bye-bye. Good attempt there from TSM. But again, just not enough. We won't know about Roche in the next for another 2 minutes, so expect Aster to just continue to farm and expand on this lead.
Yeah, once again, they're not under any pressure to finish this game if they don't want to take the risk. You can just keep playing the map for another couple minutes. With the next Aegis, I expect the game to full-on end. I don't think Aster will try to brute force it unless they find a pick outside the base on a key core or something like this, but it's fine. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter that much to them as long as their cores keep progressing. Timbersaw's working on BKB. Once he has that, he can also kill the AM, because Tomato's not buying BKB, so actually Timber can almost solo him.
That's a dead Hoodwink. I'm actually a little surprised that TSM, or that Ryle took the double damage bottle. Didn't try to give it to AM. Not that he's the best double damage carrier, but Pango certainly isn't.
Yeah.
Oh, Kasane, you did. XWY 10-0 at the moment. Just having himself a completely free game.
Yep. As prophesized.
Yeah, as we finally got one right, Cinderin.
Yep, we always right. He's gonna get Paladin Sword now for his troubles.
Very nice.
Surprised to see Monet still sitting on the tier 1 possessed mask. But I guess they had...
The stats.
The Shadow Fiend had the Brigand's Blade until now, but now Monet should definitely swap over to either the Paladin Sword, the Enchanted Quiver, or the Brigand's Blade. I think the ideal assignment here is probably Paladin Sword and the Monkey, and SF takes the Enchanted Quiver. I guess. Unless Brigand's Blade is just that good on the Monkey that he still thinks it's a higher value item. But he's not even taking it, so I guess he's not paying attention to that right now.
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Giga Chad.
TSM, they're smoked up. When you're up by this much, I think you could have no neutral item and
That's
not
true.
even realize the difference. Right, they're using that smoke just to get some vision in this jungle for Tomato to farm. But I think they saw this. Yeah, there's a ward here showing some of their movement. So I think Aster have a good idea that they did just that.
Ari's dead. It's just a matter of
Is
when.
he now? Yep, that is the sleep dart, and you can see he's all alone. Poor little Hoodwink. Definitely a good combo that we've seen time and time again with the Riki and the Disruptor is the Jakiro is going to be next. And you think you are finally out of the smoke screen, and you just get glimpsed right back.
Yep.
Rough stuff.
Okay,
He wants to fight Abyssal Blade into the Wukong's. Boundless Strike not available for 3 seconds, so Monet with some very interesting Wukong's commands this game.
He was probably hoping the glimpse was going to reach in time, but Pichu a little bit too far away, doesn't have dagger just yet.
And Roche is up and ready with the Aegis and Shard, so expecting that to potentially be the game ender. TSM, I'm gonna have to try to contest this, and that game might end on this fight.
Yeah,
potentially as
they
well.
have to. It really is that simple. They can't defend against this, so they will. They're trying to move out and cover some ground here with Acorn Shot and a Sentry. Now, this will obviously give away to Aster what's happening.
Aster. You hear the Rolling Thunder coming from Bryle. And the newly picked up Blink Dagger. Pretty good stun onto 2 heroes. Saw as well as all the damage is being applied to XWY, but pops the BKB and destroys Jakiro. Tomato able to blink away. The glimpse now onto Kasane as the Requiem is procced. Down goes the Spider. So with the Hoodwink just falling there, that's a 3 for nada as GG's called. TSM.
It's over.
Dumpster game number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, when you see this game play out, it's pretty clear what TSM needs to adjust for the next game, right? But they have to give themselves better lanes and better conditions to play the game in general. Aster just took advantage of a clear weakness of the TSM strategy.